You know that fog, that kind of lingering background fog that you kind of have? It's sort of made up of ego, fear, and that kind of selfish thinking. I say selfish because it's always, self-centered. That fog, and it is fog, man, because it prevents you from seeing. It's always there. But the thing is, when you do have shifts in consciousness, which is what I mean by spiritual awakening, you finally begin to see through it because it clears. It clears. And when you see through it, all the stuff that you know deep down is important becomes clear to you. It's like before, you kind of know you want to take care of yourself. You want to be loving to others. You want to be like disciplined in things. But like you can't really do that if the fog is there, because the fog is just too real. Like the fog is reality. It's kind of an advanced point, that, because most people would say, oh, the fog is an illusion. The fog is, just an appearance. No, dude, like the fog is fucking real, bro. If you like are only experiencing the fog, then that's what's real. That's reality. Yeah. But what happens is you do see through it. You do see through it. It may take you years of trial and error of just not working, just kind of taking in spiritual content, having these ideas floating in your mind, and you're like, well, things are still pretty shit. That might be the case for you for years, but it changes. It changes. And what I'm really getting at here is like, I'm trying to share that the experience of seeing through the fog is possible, and it happens. And like when it happens, your priorities become crystal clear. But then like the deeper part of you will come through and say, no, you don't understand. This is like an opening. This is an opportunity. Yeah, the door is opened and you can change. You can step through that door. You can be a different person. Yeah, because what you want really is you don't just want like shifts in consciousness. You actually want to have a complete change in your character. You want to develop on all fronts. You want to become a different person. And obviously, man, there's some traps here with, people saying, you're already perfect and all this stuff. Yeah, like you are on the deeper level. Okay, we know that. On the existential level, on the raw level of reality, yeah, man, you're fucking perfect, of course. Like what you are is literally perfection if you look at it. If you become aware of yourself as consciousness, you can see that that's perfect. But then what will happen is you'll come back to the sense of you, because that's, you're not going to go anywhere. Like maybe your sense of self will become more fluid. It won't become as fixed and kind of dense. So your ego might not be like as rigidly there, maybe, but really your sense of self will probably still be there. You have to work with the self. Like you might see through it. You might see that you're an illusion because your consciousness is increased, and you can actually see that, oh my God, like I don't exist as I thought I did. But you're still there. So you got to work on yourself, right? This is why like the nuanced approach that I take and we take on this channel is like, yeah, we can still have powerful spiritual awakenings. We can see through everything. We can see that everything is illusion. But we can still do advanced personal development work to really fucking make life extraordinary. So when you're doing that, you will ask yourself, what are my priorities really? Like, what are my actual priorities in life? Because before, what's interesting is that, that fog we mentioned, what would have happened is it would have messed up your priorities. Like, you don't actually have the things that are like actually really important to you at number 1, number 2, and number 3. No, because of the fog, you've got some bullshit in the way. You're not really in alignment. You're not in integrity with what you want your priorities to be. Yeah. And again, like, just use your intuition. Really quickly, instantly. That's how fast intuition is. It's instant. You know what is important to you. Yeah, you might be scared to admit it. You might have not admitted to yourself for years or fucking ever. So it's fucking buried down there and you've got to like feel it. You might have to do just introspection work and, bodily awareness feeling work for like, a couple months and years to be like, okay, well, actually this is all present for me. Actually, I want to be this kind of person. I actually want to be a really disciplined person, or I actually want to be a really selfless person. That's a big one actually, really, because like you do want to be selfless because you know that will make you more happy, that that will help people as well. And notice when I mention those two things, being selfless will make you happy and it will help others. Notice that you really like, it's very subtle this, but really you come first. You kind of have to make yourself happy first. Then you might care about others. If you're very observant, very self-honest, within sort of spiritual circles, but also within maybe in yourself, you'll notice that like there's this kind of idea that like you should do spirituality and do spiritual work to love others and to become good for others. But like actually, we want to do it for ourselves. Like actually, you want to make yourself happy, clean, conscious, pure, and feeling awesome. Yeah, that's what you really want. And obviously, because of that, you can become amazing for other people and, be actually loving, like authentically loving. But don't like lie to yourself about that. Yeah, we've got to be, this is how you become like really good at this work. You just get really honest. The more honest you are, the more you see, the more you feel, the more you'll be able to work with. When you clear the fog and you experience more consciousness, one of the biggest things that will come up for you is, oh, it's not about me. It's really not about me. Life, to live the good life, it's not about me at all. It's actually about loving others. That's what it's actually about. The true good life is about being selfless. When you're speaking to someone and you can feel they have certain emotional needs, really, it's sort of like egoic needs. Like maybe you can someone's speaking to you and you can sort of hear and feel that they want to tell you something. They really want you to know about something. But often it's about them, right? But what's interesting is what might happen is maybe you feel the need to say something because you kind of need to be heard. You need to be like seen, and not like emotionally, but just on that pure ego level. Like, hey, I did this really good thing. Maybe, you need that egoic reward of telling someone something cool. Like this happened to me recently. I like had this really cool thing to say. I was just in a group of, it was actually my family. And I was like, like I want to share this thing. And I could, but I noticed that there was two other people at this sort of event thing that I was at. I didn't actually need to say the thing that I was going to say. It would have been a more advanced move for me to be like, okay, I see what I'm trying to get. I see what I'm trying to get. I see the ego reward. I see that I'm trying to be like seen by this cool thing I'm going to say. Be sort of like recognized, like, oh man, you're cool. But I just noticed that. I introspected. I was like, okay, yeah. I'm just going to put that down just for a sec. And I actually just held space for them. Just so subtle. So instead of me getting that kind of egoic reward, which, sometimes you'll go for, and that's okay, man. It's good to express yourself and it's good to be authentic to your desires. But in that moment, I just introspected and I just knew intuitively that the move to make here is to surrender my egoic reward, because I didn't really need it to be fulfilled, and to instead hold space and listen to and let the other people get that cool ego reward. Yeah, they had some cool ass thing to say. I was like, man, that's a cool ass thing. Yeah, gave them the love. Yeah, subtle things like this will come on your radar, and you will notice that it's a new priority of yours to be more loving and to be less selfish. And you might think, dude, saying that thing that you wanted to say is not selfish. I know what you mean. And when you know yourself and when you introspect, when you feel inward, you can feel when you're trying to get love from someone. Yeah, very subtle stuff here. Yeah, but notice, you're always trying to get love from others. What happens, and this is freaking profound, dude, what happens when you have a shift in consciousness and you increase your state, you feel more whole and more love already. Yeah? Imagine you just feeling good before you even go into the conversation. You already feel good. When that is the case for you, you will not seek it from the outside as much. In fact, anytime that you do, you'll subtly notice, that's actually an incomplete, finite form of love. It feels like kind of good, but it doesn't really do it, right? It doesn't really give me the love that I'm looking for, yeah? So again, just using our wisdom here, what we want to do is we want to see, man, that felt pretty good. I liked that egoic reward, but it didn't feel quite as good as I feel meditating or accepting myself deeply in the mirror or having a higher consciousness state. You want to see this and you want to choose the more conscious reward, the one that more naturally occurs within you. Yeah, the one that is sort of more detached, more conscious, because it's literally coming from you. Consciousness sources all of these good things. You don't need to like go and find these things. No, you go to the source, which is consciousness, and this stuff just comes out of you. It's just who you become. So that is my suggestion. Get conscious. Go to the source, and then you will feel these things. All right, we're going to wrap things up there. My friend, lots of love. Take care. And as always, peace.